I put a phone in the soda that's dope. We be on the neck getting foolish. Live on the set with the gang and Mike Cooley. I'm just coolin'. Coolin' with the gang. Coolin' with the gang. Cooley in the gang. We be on the neck getting foolish. Live on the set with the gang and Mike Cooley. I'm just coolin'. Coolin' with the gang. Coolin' with the gang. Cooley in the gang. Nothing better than a professor. Watch him cook up coolin'. Big G, can't forget my nigga Mike Cooley. Keep it high like a pot of carrot. Sweet as Mayberry. Question is she single? Is she single? We'll find out when I call and I be geeking off G. Laughing till I'm nauseous. Caution in, they going all in. Leaving no stones unturned, no topic untouched. They love to cuss and they fuck shit up. Brother, I keep my money right. Make sure you keep that money right. Make sure you keep that money right. Glam sham, keep the jewelry tight, make sure you keep it. We on weekly, make sure you peep it. Matt King, state of mind, the best kept secret. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, so do it. Introduce it, the gang and Mike Cooley. We be on the neck getting foolish. Live on the set with the gang and Mike Cooley. I'm just coolin'. Coolin' with the gang. Coolin' with the gang. Cooley in the gang. We be on the neck getting foolish. Live on the set with the gang and Mike Cooley. I'm just coolin'. Coolin' with the gang. Coolin' with the gang. Cooley in the gang.
You are tuned in to the Cooley and the Gang Show on Blockworks Radio.
You know, my grandmother used to do that every time when we would drop off at home. My great grandmother, she was walking out just like Linnea was saying, announcing, let's go like, here. Shout out to Grandma Lucy. Welcome. It's Tuesday. Hello, everybody. Linnea's here. It's so funny. I'm used to seeing the first comment pop up like, hey, fam, but hey, there you are. Switching sides.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Doing good. Of course, got my little podcast, Black Patel Hoodoo. So
that she kept a secret. Not one time did she ever say, hey, y'all know, this is some shit I had to find out on my own. Oh, look, here goes Shannon. She did it for you. There you go.
Thank you, Shannon. Thank you.
We are definitely happy to have you. Once I saw that, not just the fact that you've shown so much interest in what we do, and we definitely appreciate it, but when I saw that we share a common interest, I was like, oh, let's put this together, let's bring it on.
Yeah.
So we definitely appreciate you for saying yes.
No problem.
Mac is here. What's up, Mac?
What's popping? What's good? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we hear you. Most definitely.
What's
Looking
good?
Real comfortable today.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They let me off the plantation early today.
Boss, he ain't working.
Tired, boss. Early today.
Boss, he ain't working. Hold up, was that me? No,
that was me. That was me.
Oh, okay. But we glad you got off early. We glad Linnea's here. All sorts of shits and shenanigans have been going on this week. I tell you, boy, we living in some good times. What's up, Linwood? Big Wayne?
Big Wayne, what's popping, Wayne?
We live in some crazy times, man. I'm not going to get into the nitty and gritty, but tonight we are definitely going to be talking about Kyrie Irving. We're going to talk about the NBA. We're going to talk some Dave Chappelle, of course. I don't know if y'all have been keeping up with the Texas shooting, Timothy Simpkins. We're going to touch on that a little bit. And I got a couple videos from the Reverend Kevin Samuels himself. All praises. We're going to play. We're going to play some videos from the Reverend. The professor's here.
Interesting.
Yay.
Hey, buddy.
Hey,
buddy. How you doing?
What's going on, pro?
What's up, bro? Hey, Mac, has somebody been trying to get in touch with you about a shirt? They said they DM'd you about it.
Oh, what's the name?
Naomi.
I
Yeah.
ain't seen them.
Yeah, she's on Instagram.
Okay, I'm gonna check on it.
All right. Well, shout out to everybody on Instagram. What's up, Ike? I see you, brother. I thought my niece Keely, she was in there for a minute. So everybody, take a second before we jump into it. Hit that share button. Tell a friend and tell a friend about the Cooling the Gang show because we're about to do what we do. What's up, NJ Rich? That's what I was waiting for. Now we can get started. Now we can get started. There we go. Now we can get it going. So first things up. All over the internet this week, there were memes and posts about how Biden's administration was cutting their funding for HBCUs. I was one of the ones that jumped on it and jumped on the bandwagon and, started getting on some of my more liberal friends and telling them how much of a bad and terrible decision they made in life. But the more and more I went into it and looked into it, especially I went to Politifact. I don't know if that's the right name or how you pronounce it. But basically the website was saying it's not really a cut to the funding because the funding that was coming to the HBCUs is already more than what they were getting. So the funding wasn't cut. There was just an adjustment to the amount that they were already going to receive, which was already more than they usually receive. Does that make sense to the church, to the congregation?
Yeah, if that's what they want to say,
Right.
they can spend it however they want.
Do you all? Are you all? I'm not asking who. I didn't vote for Biden. I don't talk about me. I voted for Trump. I ain't even gonna bullshit you. I did. Call me what you want to call me. Are you all still, happy with the decision that you made with your vote? Is it everything panning out the way that everybody expected it to, or are we being unfair and it's still too early?
No, of course, it's politics.
Right.
You never believe what they say they're going to do. That's just to get your votes and get into office, and then once they get in, they got their own agenda. Or the people that put them in office got their agenda ready to hand over to them. So they're gonna look out for the donators and the people that supported them and lined their pockets while they was campaigning. They're gonna take care of them first,
and then move on to the others if
ever, right?
Yeah, but one thing you always have to keep in mind is just in just real life scenarios. Would you support somebody that you thought wasn't going to do anything for you? Would you put money on something that you thought was not going to have a benefit for you? These people have essentially put a horse in a race, and that horse is supposed to produce. If that horse doesn't produce, two things happen. One thing is they run the risk of being exposed. Another thing that could potentially happen is if they happen to want to be involved in anything else, they won't allow them to get in it. They won't back them. They won't have the same backing if they don't, do their part. And this is a part of the game. It's all a part of the game. Now I'm gonna say this: a lot of people don't like Trump for one reason or another. And I'm not even gonna get into why you should or shouldn't. All I'm gonna say is this: you gotta respect a person who can pay for their own campaign, because their puppet master is different than others. That means that they don't owe anybody something or a whole lot of people of something. And anything that they do is basically off of how they feel or what they feel as though the agendas need to be, whatever agendas need to be dealt with, they're going to deal with it, as opposed to saying, well, I owe this person because this person is the reason why I'm in office. So, it's just something to think about. I mean, that's if you believe in voting at all. So there you go.
I mean, at the end of the day, the electoral college really sways where it goes. So it's kind of like, well, why should we even vote? Because, it's like they're going to sway it. Look what they did with Trump. Like, what the?
I think people still want to feel like they have a say so. They want to feel like they have an opportunity to make a difference. And since the beginning of the election process, people always wanted to feel like they mattered. Something mattered about what they're saying or what they don't say. If I didn't vote, then I wasn't a part of the process, and all these different things. And I get it. But I'll say this: if you are going to take the initiative to vote, I agree. I can't remember this guy's name, and I said this before when we were talking about voting one time before. Can't remember the guy's name, but he made a great point. He said people vote like they're voting for prom king or queen. He said they have no idea about the candidates. All they know is little bits and pieces about what the media has projected and told them. They've done zero research on these people, but they come out and vote every year, right? And say that I did a good thing because I actually put my slip in or pulled the lever down or whatever the case might be. If you're going to vote, you really should take the time in to do your own research. I'm not telling you who to vote for, who you shouldn't. Just research it. Just do your own due diligence.
No doubt. Hey, Mayberry.
Hey, May.
How you doing? You okay?
Who, me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry. I can't check on you. I can't question you now.
No, I mean, it was just kind of like out of the blue. Professor was kicking some real shit, and then you just, I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to say.
He always talking, so you know how that.
Look at it.
That's not going to end, but I mean, he's still talking some real shit, so I was trying to listen. So that's
She always come on so sweet and innocent.
Oh, give her wait until about 7 o'clock.
Devil in the blue jacket.
She'd be punching me all in my stomach around 7 o'clock.
Devil in a blue jacket now. Come on now.
Come on, exactly. This is what I deal with. And we got
a comrade. You got a comrade. We good.
We got
and Rich, we definitely going to talk about Dave Chappelle. Definitely talking about Dave Chappelle.
It's all love.
I know.
Most definitely. So one of the things that I did notice, so it says some of the funding is going to historically Black colleges and universities and other higher education institutions that serve minorities. Now, this is the word I want you all to really, 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 really watch out for. The word minority. You niggas ain't minorities. I just want to let y'all know that little secret. Okay.
I don't know who.
So when your politicians say I'm going to help all the minorities, he ain't really talking about you, your black ass. Minorities include women, the handicapped, Spanish-speaking people, and of course you brown nigglets out there. So just be careful. Like until they say, "Hey, I'm giving this to black people," we shouldn't be voting for them. Period. That's my opinion. Yes.
So they're not. That they're never gonna say. That you're never gonna get a politician to directly say that they're going to give something to black people. Now, you have had people suggestively say that they're going to give something to black or brown people, but whether or not that happened, that's questionable. But they're not going to say that because, for one, the for lack of a better word, like the puppet masters or the people behind the curtain. That's not popular. That's not productive. See, I don't know why some people want to believe that we live in this kumbaya society when that's not realistic. Realistic is we live in a capitalistic society that's run off of money. And if people of color if people of color aren't major players in this game of monopoly, then why would we be investing money into a scenario that's not going to have a major return? So it's more popular and it makes more sense. Just because you took the picture away don't mean we can't hear you.
That was a long time ago.
Hey,
You
Mike,
need to put it on mute,
right?
Mike. You went off camera, but we still hear you.
Y'all can't hear me. Shut up.
Yes, we can.
Oh shit!
Don't put his hand over his face.
Turned his camera off and left the damn audio on. I'm glad Shannon ain't beat his ass because we would have had all the audio on that.
But yeah, so damn, man, online you can see that you're turning the audio off, Mike. You gotta fix that shit, buddy. But anyway, so it's just not a popular thing to do. And we've seen that on a shorter end. We've seen that with mayoral candidates. We've seen it with governors that want to take this approach that they're going to help Black people and do things for Black people. We've yet to see those things happen. But the ones that usually say that either don't make it, or when they do get in office, they do the exact opposite, because we already know that. We already know that it's not popular to help people that are on the ground. Like I don't care where we are as far as individuals. As a whole, as a collective, we are still at the bottom of the totem pole. Now, some people might feel like they're greater than thou. Some people might feel like they have risen above, and that's possible. But in the grand scheme of things, we are still at the bottom of the totem pole. And until that changes, until we become actual real players, they're going to continue to lie to us, because we accept it. We accept that kind of rhetoric all the time. So one more thing, I'm going to let it go. I was listening to a podcast recently. By the way, if y'all have Audible, they have podcasts on there that you can listen to that are like up to date, and they're pretty good. I don't mean like no gossip shit. I'm talking about something good, right? And one of the things that they were talking about was they were talking about the war. This guy that's a veteran, he said, if you'd have asked me 3 years ago about us going over to Afghanistan, I would have told you that we're doing the right thing. He said, if you would have asked me 3 months ago, I'd have told you the same thing. He said, if you'd have asked me a week ago, I'd have told you the same thing. But if you ask me today, I'm going to tell you it's all a lie. He's a veteran, right? Recent veteran. And what he said is, the reason why you can tell that it's all a lie is because all of the rhetoric is the same. When we listen to our politicians, don't they all sound the same? Don't they all sound like they're saying the same, just regurgitating the same shit? They're saying it a different way, but they're saying the exact same thing. So that means that none of the stuff is getting done. So if none of it's getting done, why do we constantly keep believing in people to do something different? We don't do that in nothing else in this life. But because they're politicians, they're repeating the same thing. Oh, this guy has to be the one to do it. Nah, it ain't happening.
My apologies. I don't know how that happened. I muted my mic. I don't know where the sound was coming from. Because y'all said y'all can still hear me right now?
Yeah.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Where did that sound coming in from?
Oh no, but we glad Shannon ain't smack you across your head.
That's the hidden look. That's the hidden mic that LB been putting there on you.
You ain't lying. I'm glad I ain't say no wow shit. That's embarrassing. But yeah, so I mean, if you want to look more into that, we got another. So NJ Rich says, Rudy, we have to be. I'm sorry, let me post it up. He said, Rudy, we have to be willing to give up something in order to put the people in office that will support our positions.
I could agree with that. We got to be able to give up something. What is it that we're going to give up? I could tell you what we can give up, and most people are not going to be willing to do it. Sometimes the easiest answer, sometimes the best answer is the hardest one to choose. And the hardest one to choose is stop voting. If everybody just stopped voting, that would make them have to listen to what the people have to say. Now, you might be saying, well, that don't make sense. If we stop voting, then the opposite people won't get in the office. If we stop being a part, you know what? There's a movie called is it called? It's not 300. It's something on Netflix. But whatever it is, these people are going through something called, they keep calling it the process. And what happens is they are living on this land that is desolate. Like they have no food, no nothing. They got to scrounge and scrape for everything. It's like a desert. But at a certain age, when they turn 21, they go through this process. And if they pass the process, they get to go to this land where they have food, they have clean water, they got clothes. But the only deal is, in order for you to be able to go to this land, you have to let them sterilize you. You can't have babies. That's the deal, right? But the people that are in this land, they call, I forgot what they call it. I know the other part is called the offshore, but the people in that land that's in the desolate land, what they've said is, let's stop participating in the process. The only reason why they keep the process going is because the process is being utilized and works for them. But if we stop being a part of the process, they have to change the way that they do things. But if we continue to go along with it, then, you know, it's almost saying that I don't like what you're doing, but I'm gonna just go ahead and do it anyway because this all
is it 3%?
Huh?
3%.
3%. That's what it is. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good show. And it's a lot to learn from it.
And another thing is like, how much are we willing to give up before, like, you give up something each time you go to elect this person in office and you don't get nothing out of it. Now we doing that throughout our whole lives. It's gonna get to the point where we ain't got shit to give up. You know, everybody that's getting in office with their own agenda ain't looking out for nobody but their self. And then we keep saying like, this person might be the right one. This person might be the right one. I'm gonna go against everything I say. I'm gonna go vote for this person, and then we still get fucked in the end. So it's just like, how do we get past this?
Well, you are tuned into the Cooley and the Gang show. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I like what can't remember the brother name. Can't remember this brother's name, but he made a great point. Mm-hmm. As a people, we have such a hard time standing together. Like we have such a hard time with being collective about stuff. Mm-hmm. And I understand why, but in order for anything to really start changing, we got to start standing as a collective to do something.
We just got to figure out what our common cause is, NJ Rich. You're tuned into the Cooley and the Gang show live every Tuesday night, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. We are joined by our special guest co-host. Linnea is in the building. Hey. The professor is here. Mayberry's here. Mac is in the building. And I'm here. So shout out to everybody joining us and popping in Instagram Live. When you come in, just say hey so we can shout you out. Shout out to everybody that's joined us on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook Live. Let us know you're here. Shout yourself out so we can at least say hey. Don't come in and just roll out. Hit that share button on the way out the door. It's free. Don't cost nothing. So also up and down the news I saw this week about Kyrie Irving. So Kyrie Irving, let's get it clear, is not the only NBA player to take a stand against the COVID vaccine. There have been other players, but I think since then, he may be the only one that is really not getting it. So the only reason I'm bringing up Kyrie Irving is because it's crazy how this whole situation is playing out. So Kyrie is on, I believe, the third year of his deal with the Nets, $136 million contract. Kyrie will not be allowed to play any home games this year. So he can play the road games, but he can't play home. I guess because of New Jersey, New York State laws as far as COVID and the vaccine. And I guess he won't be able to play any road games depending on, I guess, which other states he may go into that may have similar laws. So Kyrie can't play any home game, and he's taking a stand on it. He's like, fuck it, I'm going to stand on it. And I mean, when you break his contract down, Kyrie makes about $400,000 per game. So he's going to lose about $17 million of his contract this year. So my question was, I'm like, well, damn, that's a hell of a stand. And my father was here this weekend. I was talking to him about it, and he said something to me. He was like, well, couldn't he take more of a stand if I guess if he had the vaccine and then use that money for something else, I guess to further I guess our community or whatever, instead of just kind of letting that whole 17 million go. So the sacrifice. Professor, I already know where you stand.
Where I stand?
Would you lose the 17 million?
Hold on, where do I stand? Don't want to hear what you're gonna say. Where do I stand?
I guess I have no fucking clue. I thought I knew, but I guess I don't.
See, I don't think that money should dictate your morals and values. That's one thing that we have gotten accustomed to, that we allow money to determine our decisions on whether or not we're going to stand on our principles or whether we're going to bend a little bit or sway or whatever. So I'm gonna tell you, like I told you before, when it came down to the conversation of getting the vaccine for your job and stuff like that, I would hope that I had the courage like he did to say that I'm not going to do it. See, we can say a whole bunch of things until we're in that position, and then there might be a whole nother conversation. Because in the background, they might be saying, well, you're in violation of your contract. You owe us some money now when this is all said and done. Because if you don't perform, because we said that you're supposed to do X, Y, and Z throughout the year, And if you're not performing these tasks, then you're actually in violation of your contract. So now what happens? So he not only lost the money from the games, but he could potentially owe the league some money. Who knows? Who knows how it's going to play out? So that's something that you got to look at. I don't know what his family situation is, because that could be an issue for him as well. I don't know. I just, what's really unfortunate is that we even got to have a conversation of people being able to make their own decisions. The fact that they're taking your rights away from you slowly but surely, and not only that, you have predominantly the older generation trying to encourage the younger generation to do something because they are afraid. And I just never understand. I just, just some things just don't set right with me. Yeah, it is. The money could be used in a different place, but to sacrifice my morals and values for that, I don't think so. We had to find it another way.
Linnea, what you think? You're an NBA fan?
I'm actually more of a NFL, so.
But you familiar?
Dirty Birds. But yeah, I'm familiar.
Hey, yes, with the Dirty Birds.
Dirty Birds. But LeVar, he still hasn't got the vaccine either.
Yeah.
And he's getting flack because my mom was saying he needs to go ahead and get the vaccine. I was like, well, I mean, he's not the only one. You can't tell the winning player, hey, take the vaccine. He don't believe in the vaccine. You're gonna either stand for something or fall for everything.
And I appreciate Kyrie Irving's stand, but you have to look at Kyrie Irving. It's just like every team that he's been on, he took a stand about something.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's making him look more of a troublemaker or uncooperative, or you know what I mean. So that's the reputation he's going to get around the league. So they're not going to look at it as the fact of him taking a stance towards something that's right. They're going to just look at it as that, well, here you go again. You're on your fourth team and you still acting the ass and trying to do what you want to do and don't want to work with the team and do what needs to be done. So that's the one thing that I'm afraid for him for, because he might get to the point where he get blackballed and no team want to pick him up. You know what I mean? He's a talented player. And plus it's easy to leave 17 on the table when you already got over 100, So, I applaud him. I just hope it don't mess up his reputation.
Right.
Well, $17 million, I believe. Like the professor said, money should not dictate. But when I kind of looked at it and I did the math, that's a hell of a stance to take. And the carriage of your convictions and just to stand for something that you believe. But like Max said, that's Kyrie. Over the years, he's stood tall on his words. And he was dead serious. And I would hate to see, and I can literally see it right now. How the NBA, like he on the third year of this 4-year contract, he'd be up for free agency, and the league just kind of, even though the NBA has been the NBA is not like the NFL.
Right.
The NBA has been a little bit more flexible, I guess, and more understanding of the world, I would say. The NFL seems like it's still more run by the good old boys. So it seems a little harder to maneuver through the NFL, like, how they did Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
Once he got the flag and the stain on him, like that shit wouldn't come off. There wasn't enough fucking Clorox in the world to get that shit off. Like it was there.
Yeah.
But I think the NBA is a little bit more. Look at Dennis Rodman. Look at all the wild shit Dennis Rodman did in the NBA, and he ain't never had to look for a job. So,
Allen Iverson, you talking about practice, not a game, practice.
Yep. AI too. And who else? And then look at the big brawl that they. I watched a documentary the other day about the brawl at the Palace, when Indiana and the Pistons went at it. and Ron Artest.
Ron Artest crazy ass.
Yeah, you know.
But shit, you go further back. Charles Oakley, like you had.
Oh yeah, Charles Oakley would knock you out right in the middle of half court. Yeah, so the NBA seems to have a little bit more of an understanding. But we'll see. I mean, shout out to Kyrie. I mean, I tried to hold out, but 17 million wasn't on the line. I went out for minimum wage and shit. Ain't that a bitch? Oh well. Mayberry.
What's up? What
How you feel about Kyrie?
I'ma just say, just not even about him. I think anybody that takes a stand in anything should be recognized in a positive manner and not negative. Regardless on if it's one person, 2, 5, this person has the courage to do something that many other people don't do and won't do because they are focused on the check. And the problem is we can't come together as people because we're in fear of what the retaliation may be, consequences may be, being blackballed in whatever industry you're in, music industry, you in the any type of entertainment industry, or you're in the public eye. You are literally programmed to keep your damn mouth shut. Like you can't speak on anything. You can't have an opinion or be an individual. And you can't be an individual and have your own opinion. You have to conform to what everyone else is doing. And I think it's sad and it's pathetic. Regardless on what anybody is doing. And I don't want him to look like a problem child. And the fact that we would give him that label because he's doing what none of us can do or willing to do is pathetic. That's how I look at it. Linnea made a great quote. I use it all the time. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for everything. So why are we going to sit here and crucify this man for standing for something, believing in something, regardless on what it is? I might not agree with it, but I can do nothing but put respect on anybody's name that can stand in authority. Because weak people, to me, sit down. Strong person, they stand up no matter how hard it is, and they confront the situation head on no matter how it looks to anyone else, and they don't care what your view or your opinion is. That's strength. Weakness is sitting down and doing nothing about it.
There we go. I respect that. You are tuned into the Cool in the Gang Show live every Tuesday night, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are going live right now on Instagram. I see people rolling in. Shout yourself out. Everybody hit that share button. It's free 99. All right, let's keep it moving because let me see. Let me get a time check. Yeah. Timothy Simpkins. Are we all familiar with Timothy Simpkins and the shooting at Timberview High School? I think this was last week, around last Tuesday, Wednesday, I believe. Yeah. So apparently, Timothy got into a fight with a student and pulled out a weapon. Shot the young man he was fighting. A teacher was also shot, and another student, I believe, was grazed by a bullet. Timothy's family came out and said that Timothy was being bullied. That is why I guess he had the gun in school, and that's why he retaliated the way that he did. Did any of y'all see this? Anybody been kind of keeping up with this whole story?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Right. I've heard a bit about
I haven't followed the story. I overheard, like I stumbled across it, but I haven't followed the story.
So the young man that he shot was in critical condition. I believe he hit him in the leg, chest. I believe he hit him like about 3 or 4 times, might even more than that. It was a .45 caliber handgun. Police say the 18-year-old is the person who opened fire in the classroom on the 2nd floor of Timberview High School after getting into a fight with another student. Police allege Simpkins brought a weapon to school and at some point during or after the fight got the .45 caliber handgun and started shooting. He's accused of firing that gun, then fleeing the scene. The school was put on lockdown and police searched for him for hours before he eventually went to a local police station along with his lawyer and turned himself in. Police believe that the gun used in the crime was found about 2 miles away along the street. After it was determined Simpkins was no longer on campus, the all clear was given at Timberview, and students and staff were allowed out of their classrooms and offices to begin unification process at an off-site location. Late Wednesday morning, dozens of buses lined up outside the school to transfer the more than 1,800 students. The shooting sent 3 people, 2 students and a teacher to the hospital. 2 of those victims were shot and remain hospitalized. A 15-year-old student is in the ICU, and a 25-year-old teacher, Calvin Pettit, is in good condition. So, like I said, the family came out. It's been a lot of back and forth with this one. So the family came out and said that he had been bullied. These kids were taking his money. They were, of course, doing all the things that come along with bullying and picking on him. And I believe that is why he had the gun on him, because I guess he was in fear for his safety. I was watching a lot of different things, and then all of a sudden another video I saw came out to kind of refute that, saying that he was alleged and he was into other things, and there was a picture of him in his car, and the gun was already in his car on one of his Instagram posts, but his Instagram has since been taken down. Some of the things I heard I really didn't want to buy into until the Instagram got deleted, because my stance on that is, if you're a victim and ain't got nothing to hide, what you delete your Instagram for? And the only reason you're going to delete something is if there's something there that you don't want to be seen, like deleting your text message. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep that inbox clean, baby. Delete them DMs. Read and delete, baby. Read and delete. So just given the facts of what you all heard, I mean, I know y'all haven't been keeping up with it much, or the story. If your child was being bullied, would there be a need for you to delete their Instagram?
If your child is being bullied, would you delete the one who's being bullied Instagram?
Yeah.
I think there is a reason to do that.
Okay.
And just from this perspective, if you have a kid who's being bullied, that stuff can also be online. And these kids cyberbully. They also will take kids' pictures from off of their page, doctor them up, and do different type of things and post them on other pages. Again, I don't open my mouth and speak on something with a strong opinion unless I have actually experienced it, witnessed it myself. And I've seen it happen. And social media is not really, I feel like, designed for children. It's really not. It's not any way that the parents can really govern it, because if you have a page and you follow your kid on a certain page, they can go out and create a fake page, or what they call spam pages. You don't have any control over that. So if your child is being bullied and you can't control the narrative, or you can't control the situation and scenario, sometimes you do have to step in and potentially deactivate a page so that you can kind of minimize whatever may be going on with that kid, because it can be going on online.
So yeah, he might have had some incriminating information on there. That might have been his platform to vent. So he might have went on there and started putting posts about how he wish he could kill him or do something to him or something like that. It could be some incriminating information on there.
Well, he was released on $75,000 bond, so he's currently free awaiting trial. Yeah, he was released on $75,000 bond, so he's out right now. The bullying thing, and so when this first came out, it was considered to be another school shooting, mass shooting, but that was not this. So let's get that clear. That this was isolated. I mean, he knew who he had a problem with, and he went after that person, which sounds fucked up. I have some sort of understanding. I'm not mad at him for that. I don't like going in there and just shooting up the whole. You just recklessly shooting up the whole goddamn building. Like, I mean, if you know who you're mad at, I'm not promoting violence. Oh yeah, sorry. But y'all know what I'm saying, though, right? You know.
I get it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
I get it.
I can see how it can be. I can see how what I say can be misconstrued, though. But you know, this wasn't that. This wasn't somebody randomly just going into a building and just recklessly firing at everybody. Yes. Yeah. So shout out to that. Well, not shout out to that. Somebody take the mic, please. So Linnea, help me, please. Help me.
No problem.
Thank you.
No problem. Got you. I mean, it almost, well, at least it's not Columbine, because I remember when Columbine happened, I was just 1 year out of high school. Now the kids are just built different. We used to just do fisticuffs, girls would just meet outside, guys would meet outside at the designated area, sometimes off campus, because we didn't need the administrators to come and try to break it up. So these kids, a gun? Jeez. I mean, everyone's parents had a gun some way, somehow, but we
ain't go to touch that.
No.
My
mama and daddy would have knock us out of head in front of everybody.
It was like you would say, meet me at the playground.
Right.
Or we're going to handle this at the bus stop or something.
Right.
But it wasn't this.
No. These kids are built way different. But they're more gangsters online.
It's Twitter fights. I'm Twitter fights.
I'm like, I remember back in the day, people would just talk. And then it would go circulating throughout the school. And then it's like, so-and-so said they want to meet up with you. And these kids are just built different.
The whole administration wondering why ain't nobody catch the bus today and half the goddamn school walking down Washington Avenue.
Wait a minute, why are you calling out? Right. The fights were.
Leave that alone. It was gladiators.
Everybody don't need to know where everybody was walking down Washington, where they was going.
Exactly. And so that was our problem. Like, we were so dumb, like we wasn't even slick. Like, the whole school just walking down the street and the police following behind, the whole 1,000 people walking down the street.
In the street, everything.
Going to Burger King and shit for lunch.
Or Italian City, that's where I went. Italian City. Give me a little chicken cheese steak.
But it's crazy, the bullying thing, and I guess it's more rampant now because I would say social media does add a whole nother element to it.
Yeah. But bullying, bullying wasn't bullying back in the day for us. It was what did they call it?
The dozens, Jones and knowing you. You know what I mean?
It wasn't bullying. I think, and I'm not downplaying it.
Right.
I think people be riding the hell out of that word, and it's not even necessary for the situation or the scenario. So it makes it so much bigger sometimes what it is, because we keep taking a highlighter across it. We highlighted and highlighted and highlighted. So now we made it brighter than what it actually really is, because it's not the same in every situation and scenario. But that's the word that we quickly throw out. We'll throw out, oh, you bully, 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 bully. And then it turns into this.
Right.
Unfortunately.
And what happened to the big homies in school? It's always that big homie that come around and be like, yo, stop messing with him. If I catch you messing with him, I'm going to come after you. It was always one of them in the school. You ain't got them no more. Either they enjoy watching it now, or they're joining their damn self.
Right.
No, they do it now, and they just shooting people.
Right.
So Dina says
ain't nobody pulling up, they shooting your ass.
So Dina says if the parents at school knew that he was being bullied, why not be proactive? School social workers / counselors should advocate for students to have mental health days. I don't know about getting my kids on mental health. My daughter would take full advantage of a mental health day. She already talked about her anxiety and shit.
Please say so.
Yeah, mental health day.
She get that shit from her mother.
Yes, agreed. With a applause.
Not the hand clap. That's shot.
No.
Alone.
I'm only talking shit because she's not here.
Yeah, y'all are terrible.
So how do we have a mental health day, Professor?
So we had one.
Change the narrative.
we had a mental health day in Willard Middle School. It wasn't for everybody. It was only for certain people.
So how do you decide who needs a mental health day?
The ones who causing the problems.
But mental health is not something. But mental health is not something you can see. It's not a scar. It's not something that bleeds out. It's internal. It's a mental thing. So how do you sit back? And this is the ignorance of people, period. Who sits back and says, who has mental health issues? Who has a mental illness? None of us are classified to even make that decision, but we put people in positions to do that.
No, that's when the guidance counselor is supposed to step in.
Yeah, but half of their asses don't have a clue sometimes either.
Right. Because
they'll focus more on the problem child, and the problem child is really not the one. the problem child who keep bothering the kid that's over there that's quiet. Right. And that's the kid to come in here and start busting caps. That's the problem. That's the problem.
Always.
I'll say this. When we were in middle school, not so much in high school, I definitely know that there are some people that got bullied. Absolutely, without a question, hands down. The people that they had in that little class that I'm talking about,
at the bottom of the steps, at the bottom of the steps by the door.
No,
lower class.
No, not that class.
Oh, okay.
You know the one under the steps?
Yeah, not that one.
Oh,
but the class that they created in Woodlawn, they were onto something, because if you look at the numbers of the people that was in there, it was only about 10 people in there. Out of the 10, 4 of them are actually doing something with their lives. 3 or 4 of them are dead, and 2 of them are in and out of jail. So they were onto something. You know, they had a good idea of what was, you know, who to separate from the community. And truth be told, the ones they had in the class were the ones that was actually doing the bullying in the school.
But see, do you think that can play a part of them continuing to portray that behavior? Because if you think about it, once you start getting singled out and pointed at as the problem, especially if it ain't nobody out there trying to help you get through your problem, you're just being labeled and separated from everyone else because you're the problem. Sometimes that don't help.
So
this causes you to continue.
In this particular case, what they did was they had 2 young guys that were working with the youth that were there. And the reason why they tried to use 2 young guys because they thought that those guys could relate a lot better. They were a little more involved in the lives of the younger guys, like what Mike was just talking about following, you know, the kids down Washington Boulevard and shit like that. Or what was that? What's that? Essex, walking around Essex and being outside. And for those of you who went to Woodlawn Middle, you know who Mr. Franklin is. I don't know if you know who got Mr. Hart. I don't know if y'all know who that is or not. But Mr. Franklin, even in Milford, was very instrumental in Milford too. But he just took a different approach. Like, he would come down Woodmore Shopping Center if people was hustling down there and tell them like, yo, come on, man, you can't stand out here all day and hustle, man. You got to find some other things to do. He was taking brothers to church. He was going down to town to the shopping center, picking up brothers, taking them to church every Sunday. Because what he was trying to do is he was trying to show them another way that evidently they felt as though their parents couldn't show them, wasn't showing them, or just trying to give them some different insight on some other opportunities. And I mean, like I said, it did work for a few of them, but you can't save everybody. That's another thing. Like, you cannot save all of these young men and young women out here. Some of them are just hell bent on being involved in bullshit and trash. You just can't do it. And one thing about social media, I agree with what Mayberry said. The more and more I'm watching social media, these young girls are believing in certain things. They believe they have to look a certain way to get attention. These young men believe that they have to make money today to get a certain level of attention. It makes people feel like they're not important in their whatever world that they're in. And I mean, that means something to them. That means something to these young men and young women to have some level of importance, to belong into something. Like, I don't belong with anybody because I don't sell drugs, or I don't belong with anybody because I'm not an athlete, or I don't belong with anybody because I'm not a pretty young girl, whatever society standards of pretty is. And
I want to drive off of what you just said. And I'm not good enough because I don't have these likes. I don't have these views. Yes. Nobody's commenting on my stuff. So this is where these women and men are coming up feeling as I'm inadequate.
Right.
I'm not good enough. And then that goes right back into mental health, because then you got people commit suicide based off of social media. You got people that have anxiety and all of that stuff just off of dealing with social media and the interactions. And then there's people that always want to offer up an opinion that's not always positive, because people aren't going to like everything you post. So you got to deal with all of that stuff that I feel like children don't have the mental capacity to understand that everybody, I mean, look, we don't like when people don't like our stuff.
Right.
So just think about a child that's looking to be nurtured, loved, and developed, and they have to be exposed to the entire world who's judging them and picking them apart and not allowing them to just be fucking kids.
Yeah.
It's hard.
One other thing, y'all do realize that people was taking guns to school back in middle school and high school, right?
There was metal detectors in high schools when we were, in middle schools coming up. It's like city, definitely.
And not in the county. Not in the county. It definitely was people taking guns in the school.
The city though.
See, this trouble been brewing for a long time. But you got to remember something. The knuckleheads in school didn't have kids. They couldn't cut it. They couldn't figure out life back then. Got older, still ain't figured it out or figured out how to behave at this point. And now they're trying to raise children, not even trying to read anything or get any help, or they can't even look back at their parents because their parents might be in a bad scenario. And it's hard for everybody. It's a downward spiral of people. You see these young guys out here today. I just had a good conversation with me and Dave Cowles. I had a really good conversation the other night about something that the mayor posted and what's going on in Baltimore City. Are y'all aware that last week 24 people got shot in Baltimore City? 24 people got shot just last week.
Shit, 9 on one day in the same shit. Yeah, we all aware.
So you ask yourself, all right, it's not the old, whatever old is, guys that's out here doing these things. For the majority, for the mass part of the people, because when you hear about these numbers, you're saying like, damn, they just teenagers, they just kids, they just 20, they just 19, maybe 30. But for the most part, these are 30 and under guys that's shooting back and forth. You got to be asking yourself like, yo, when I was between the ages of, let's say, 10 up to 19 maybe. Like my parents was well aware of my comings and goings. Like they really were instrumental in where I was and what I was doing. And if it didn't seem right to them, they had something to say. Or they might, my father might even pop up where I'm at. Or just be active in these young guys' lives. And if you have a troubled teen, if you have a son that's involved in a whole lot of things. And you gotta take a part.
We discussed this already. We've already talked about this, and like I said before, I feel like as a man, I hold myself accountable for not being there for the younger generation. When we was growing up, our parents did do certain shit, and you couldn't get away with a lot of things. And running into your father said, "Get your ass in the house." Yes, Mr. Hill, I'm going home, because that's what we respected other people's parents, and parents was very active and very vocal in the way we grew up. I don't go down to Greenmount. I'm not on the block trying to save nobody's life. I don't want to go down there. I'm not going down there because they don't want to hear shit I'm saying. I ain't trying to go down there and get my ass whooped and have to come all the way back. I'm not taking 5 other guys with me down there to do some outreach shit, because niggas don't want to go. Like, as you got people now who have their own kids. They're trying to raise their own family, and it's selfish of me to say that people don't want to go down there. I don't want to be a part of the outreach program. Nobody wants to hear shit I have to say by myself. Now, if I could take 30, 40 other guys with me, we can go down there and we can do this and we can be positive and this, that, and the third. That's one thing. But Rudy, if I called you on a Saturday and say, hey, let's go down here and fuck with these.
Exactly.
So that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying.
But I got you. That's what I mean, we've lost touch with a lot of these young kids. I coach football and I listen to some of these little kids talk, and they're 12 and 13 going to Deer Park. They got good families, they got loving families, they got fathers and mothers in the same household, and they still just choose to act out. I got kids that's going to school and they're fighting in middle school just to fucking be fighting, and now you got to miss your football game. But you want to be a football player, but at the same time, you just acting out just to be fucking acting out. So you can't even blame it on the home. You can't put it all on the home Because like I said, I got kids that come from loving homes. They got mothers and fathers and grandmothers, and everybody loves them, but they still just choose to fuck up.
And
whose fault is that?
You're absolutely correct. You're 100% correct. But I can almost, I don't even want to guarantee it. But what I'll say is this: you can love your child to death, but there has to be a separation between you and your child. I'm not my child's friend. My child needs to know that I am also the judge, jury, and executioner in his life. If
I will fuck you up. Absolutely.
If he is not behaving in a certain way, then I'm gonna take action. Let me tell you what happened. Some of the things that has happened to me when I was younger. My parents were going to put me in a what do they call that? That it's not ROTC, but military school. We went out to the damn school and everything. The only reason why I didn't happen is because my mother didn't want to go through with it, but my father was going to put me in there. That was a part of the agreement. That was a part of the 40
years. That was 40 years ago. You could get your ass whooped 40 years ago. You hit a kid now, your ass going to jail.
Amen.
But listen, what I'm saying.
That was 40 years ago. So to say what we went through and what happened to us, yeah, that was fine back then. Your mother could fuck you up, and your father could fuck you up. Your next door neighbor could fuck you up, and your grandmother still will whoop your ass and give you a piece of candy. Mm-hmm. You put your hand on a kid right fucking now, you are going to jail.
And guess what? If I had a son and my son was fucking up, guess where I'd be? In jail. That's the best place for me, because there's no way I'm gonna sit there and watch my son go out this door every day and know that he's terrorizing the community, and me just sit back and say, "Oh well, fuck it, I can't do nothing about it." When he go to jail, just go to jail.
You going to jail?
We're gonna die together. We're gonna have
to go to jail.
But as a parent, people get crucified for their parenting styles.
Right.
Absolutely.
And at the end of the day, everybody on this platform that's a parent, or even if you're not directly a parent, you have some engagement or involvement with the child. Your parenting style and what you choose to do in your home is your goddamn business. However, everybody sits back and wants to tell somebody how to run their house. Let's keep it 100. And that happens all the time.
Look, I done had my ass whipped with anything that you can find in the house when I was coming up.
You name it, I'd have been hit with it.
Right. So like he said, now with that whole
man, you can't even yell at a child today. Y'all can't yell at kids.
Yeah, that's mental abuse.
Because that's mental abuse. So you can't do nothing. So everybody that's talking, like I gotta you right. Because these kids and Linnea, you said it earlier, these kids built different.
The
way we came up is totally different. And guess what? And our parents probably looked at us and said the same shit. They probably thought we was built different because when they came up, it was different. That's what happens in cycles. That's what happens when you are the life cycle. That's just what happens. So guess what? The next generation going to say the same thing because it's going to be different for them too. I'm scared to see what it looks like. Terrified. However, I totally agree. Like, as a parent, you just don't know.
Well, I was just gonna say, I hate to say it, but when my son was virtually learning, I'm not gonna lie, it gave me a bird's eye view of what some of the kids was going through, because you kind of hear the parents in the background sometimes, and you kind of like, whoa, wow, okay, I see what the teachers are going through, because I hear it, and I'm at home and I hear it. I'm working with my child. I hate to say it, and I might get flogged for this, but sometimes when you have your kids too young, it shows in the child. Now I ain't scared to say my age. I'm 41, so I had my son in my 30s, so I was already settled and I was already right there. But unfortunately, when you have your kids young, I hate to say it, I always hear people say, I grew up with my mom and my dad, and I'd be like, what? You shouldn't be growing up with your mom and your daddy. They should be rearing you, not growing up.
And then you hear some of these parents talk to their children in public, call them all kinds of names in the books, and kick them in the ass and all that in public, and that's why ain't no respect out here now. You can't even respect your own mother. You ain't gonna respect a stranger out here in these streets.
That's true.
Well, we'll keep an eye on this situation at Timberview High School with Timothy Sippins. The only other thing I didn't add, I don't know if it makes a difference, but he is 18, like in the 11th grade or something like that. So he's grown. He's grown, so I believe he probably will be charged as an adult. But if it is bullying, there may be some leniency, and he may get off. But prayers out to everybody involved in the situation. Let's keep it moving. Time check. All right.
Hey, yo, you gotta make an announcement every time you check the time, yo.
I'm gonna make an announcement every time.
Are you waiting on somebody?
You waiting on Domino's. He trying to see if they're an hour or less.
I was say, trying to get a free pizza or something.
Time check. Circle jerk.
Who's he?
I can't.
Who's he, Mike?
That's what I was going to say. Who's this young man?
Not who's this young man.
Are we supposed to hear this?
I can't hear it. No.
It's kind of low.
Can't hear shit. What's he talking about?
Y'all telling me right now, like real talk. Like, y'all really
oh my gosh.
That is a man, right?
I can't.
There's a proper pronoun, Granville.
Transgender?
Y'all couldn't hear it at all?
No, nigga. That's why we just said.
No, nigga.
Oh my god.
No, only Granville. I'm trying to tell you.
Oh, you tried that other way to share it?
Yeah.
See, there you go. Try new shit. Just stick to the shit that works.
Gee, I'm gonna stick to something. All right, I'm telling y'all now.
Always want to try new shit.
I'm on edge right now. I'm telling you.
Ain't nothing wrong with growth and elevation, G.
Yeah, you do that shit on his own time. You should have done that yesterday or this morning.
So do me a favor. How about y'all mute and stop talking, and maybe we can hear the shit.
Yes, boss.
Everybody want to give commentary to the video. The young lady person.
So you about to say the young man?
Own commentary to the shit.
Everybody
mute yourself.
All right, go ahead. Let me see it. Let me see. Go ahead, do it again.
Let's see if that works.
Young lady person.
All right, do your best.
Damn. Crazy ass colors.
Let's take so long.
See, don't do that. Don't do that.
I done muted myself. That shit better work. I muted. That shit better work.
I swear on everything.
Huh?
All right, fuck it. We can't play that video.
All right, just tell us the gist of it.
I get tired. I try to be. I wanted us to start being fair because generally we only play one side of one opinion from something on this matter. So I wanted to try to find a video from the LGBTQ community where we could understand what the issue was. Mike, you being bullied. I am, most definitely. So when I go off on this show, we all gonna know why. I already know who I'm coming at first. I already know. So it was just the other side of point of view as far as the whole Dave Chappelle situation. So I do have other videos that I have the other way. I was trying to upload this one, but I couldn't get it. So Dave Chappelle had a comedy special that came on. Was this one called Sticks and Stones? No, Closure. I'm sorry. This one was called Closure.
Because I don't know what I know what he did.
You ain't watch it?
You ain't see the stand up?
No. I'm
late. Of them?
I've seen the Sticks and Stones, but I think he said something recently, right?
It was basically the same thing, different format, somewhat.
Different narrative.
He basically said the same thing, but
he changed the narrative.
He was bringing it all to a close and a wrap up to the previous specials. He also told a story about a trans woman that he was friends with, that he was kind of trying to help with their career, that ended up killing themselves after they had came to the trans person that came to his defense when people were coming at him, and the whole trans community turned on that person, and for about 6 days just gave them the blues on social media. and they ended up killing themselves. Now, they're not. Nobody can confirm or deny whether or not their suicide was caused by the cyberbullying and just drama from the internet, but it was speculated. So he talked about that and just he had made a comment about the baby. It was basically the same premise as something he had said before, but he was saying how the baby can shoot a nigga in Walmart and his career is all right and kill him, but as soon as you say something about the LGBTQ community, his career was over. So you can kill a nigga, but you can't say nothing about somebody that's gay or transgender. So basically that was the gist of it. So after that, everybody was calling for him to be canceled and taken off of Netflix and for the special to come off. And
the alphabet community wanted him to be canceled, or the world wanted him to be?
The alphabet community, and then there was also an article came up that the Black Coalition that came out and wanted his special pulled off of Netflix also.
I did saw that. Yeah, I did see that.
Oh wow, colors. When colors? Damn.
But gee, come on now. Who? Black Lives Matter is ran by, and
we already.
Okay,
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that tonight.
So the Black Coalition, at the end of the day, I'm just gonna say is along the same.
Mm-hmm.
They all on the same train. They're all on the same railroad tracks.
I watched it,
and
I actually enjoyed it.
Me too, Maybray.
So
me too.
What's the name of it?
Closer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's the thing. I can understand what he took an approach to almost like in comedy to try to right his wrongs and he's still being crucified for that. Because that's how I took it. He pretty much brought up, without me killing it for everybody else, he borderline was talking about, hey, this is an incident that happened to me where I made a joke about the LGBT community, and this was the end result. And then making a joke off of that. It's almost like, hey, I went through hell every time y'all tried to cancel me and everything else. So I'm going to try to bring humor to the times that I might have wanted to. We don't know what his situation could have been. It could have been suicidal. It could have been depression. It could have been cancel culture. We don't know what that man had to go through as it relates to whatever turmoil he caught from saying something where that's supposed to be where you can have creative freedom. And that's what I don't like what's turning into the cancel culture that's going on right now. There is no creative freedom. So it's almost like, to me, and people probably not going to like this, everybody want this Me Too movement bullshit. The Me Too movement is for the Me Too movement. I don't want to think like anybody else on this panel. I don't want to look like anybody else on this panel. I don't want to do what everybody else does on this panel. I'm my own individual. I love who the fuck I am, and I want to be able to make my own choices and decisions. The fact is that everybody feels like they have the right to push their views and opinions on everybody else. Everybody has the right to their opinion. Everybody, that doesn't mean it gives them a platform to hate. It doesn't mean it gives them a platform to be rude and disrespectful. But every person has an opinion. So why do we have to keep crucifying comedians for making a joke about something when they sit on there and they talk about blacks? They'll be black. How much does he talk about blacks? Was we canceling him when he was doing nigga? No, we weren't. Well, when he was sitting there and doing the whole crack thing, people could take offense to that. For people to have substance abuse issues when he was walking around with the white lips.
Tyrone Biggum.
Crucify him and nail him to the cross for that. No, we pick and choose when we want to sit here and do cancel culture, and I think it's whack. Like, instead, like, regardless, this is a man who already had an opportunity to be the greatest. And he left the scene because of the bullshit and the lack of support from people because they wanted to put him in a box. He didn't want to be in a box. Why are we doing that to our comedians? Why are we doing that to people, period? Everybody not going to like you. That's what I grew up.
Though.
But I grew up with not liking
no more.
You can't. And that's sometimes your place where you want to feel like you can actually be safe and express whatever is going on, and you try to make a joke out of it because maybe you was crying for a long time about it. So if you're trying to create a space that's healthy for you, why is it a bad thing? Why is it a bad thing? I don't understand it, and I don't support the approach that everybody's taking against Dave Chappelle because of his creative freedom. And he was specifically talking about when he was saying that stuff and what happened to him and making a joke out of that.
Right.
So,
it's just getting to the point. I'm just gonna say it's just getting to a point you can't say nothing, and I want to go and laugh, and it's people take it too seriously, and then people say I want to sue him because he said this. I'm like, if that's the case, then don't watch it. Stay in the house and just look at something else. But I mean, he's not the only comedian. You got you got black and white across the board. George Carlin went through hell and high water, God rest his soul, and he was dirty. I used to listen to his stuff. I was like, y'all just too sensitive. This society is just getting too sensitive. And
just really quick, because I want to take something off of what NJ Rich just posted when he said he never had a problem with the LGBTQ community. Right. That's facts. He actually even talked about how he had a transgender open up for him.
Right.
That's why it's like people literally go out, waste their anytime minutes to sit back and try to find something to cancel people out. This man literally said, I had a comedian. I didn't even know who she was. I was told that she was good. So I wanted her out on the show. She was transgender. She came out, didn't do that good of a job, bombed. But then he saw her in her own element where she was comfortable and she wasn't nervous and was like, damn, she's really funny. And he talked about how he had to bury her, a friend, someone that he got close to. She died. So again, stop picking and choosing what's convenient for y'all to do cancel culture, and really do your research, your due diligence before you try to tell somebody that they don't like someone or they hate a specific group of people.
Yeah. And a lot of people that's commenting on it haven't even seen the show. They're just going off base what somebody else said he said.
Right.
You know, the one thing that he said that I really like, and I think me and you was talking about that, Mike. He made a comment when he said he got a letter or he read something in a paper or something along those lines where the statement said, "Stop punching down on my people." And he was trying to figure out what exactly did they mean by punching down on my people. And whoever I was talking to about it, I was saying to myself, or I was saying to them, that in order for you to punch down on somebody, one of the two things, you either have to be standing higher than them or they have to be down on their knees. Either way, you're taking a dominant position. And I like at the end what he said to that community. He said, "Stop punching down on my people." And when he's talking about people, he's talking about not just, well, in my mind, not just people of color, just people, period. Because what you're doing is you've separated that group to everybody else. And you're giving preferential treatment just to this group. And if anybody, I don't care who it is, remember, we brought this up before, the Duck Dynasty thing. He made a comment, they shut his whole show down. That was the end.
Yeah.
You know, so stop giving preferential treatment to this group, and everybody else has to fit into this mold.
And bow down.
And just say certain things. So when he said stop punching down on my people, and that from that aspect, I said, yo, that was a dope way to spin that. And I don't know if the community is going to pick up on that. Probably not. But it definitely was a really good show. And this is how comedy used to be. I was telling my mother about it. I said, you know, once upon a time, these comedians were telling real life stories. You know, there wasn't it was jokes involved, but it was real life stories. Richard Pryor talks about in an interview, the stories that he told was real. Like his mother was in a brothel or something.
Yeah. His grandmother owned it.
His grandmother owned it. You know what I mean? He wasn't lying. These were real things that happened. Different scenarios that we've heard, different comedians we've heard were telling real life stories. But this is what he did. That was the art of storytelling. And even after he told his story, they want to say, "Nah, I don't like your story. Your story wasn't good." Even if it's a reality, like this is a reality. We're seeing it across the board. We're seeing people being mistreated and lied to and put into a certain box. You have to agree. You have to understand. You have to understand what we're saying. If you don't understand what we're saying, then you're a part of the problem.
Well, I got a clip from so Flame Monroe is a transgender comedian, and I have a clip from her. So let's see if this one plays better than everything else y'all crying about. Y'all still can't hear?
Mm-mm. So I don't know if you might have changed around audio, because remember we could hear you earlier, even though you thought you muted us.
Right.
Oh well, they can hear it in the room. It's just y'all. It's something with y'all. They can hear it in the room.
That's what I'm saying. There might be a line over there that might be because
Mac, you can't even hear with your headphones on.
Nope.
It might be the platform.
Mm-hmm. Y'all killing my vibe today.
Not y'all. We ain't got nothing to do with that.
Sweet baby Jesus.
Hey G, they just jammed your boy up on some shit like that. Where'd you at?
Who?
Gruden.
Oh, that ain't my boy. I'm a Bucks fan.
Didn't he coach the Bucks?
That was a long time ago, Mac. Don't put it
right there. You go. Thank you, Mac. Appreciate that,
Mac.
Mac.
A long time ago, Mac.
Thank you, sir.
And I just want to let you know, Facebook said they can't hear either, so it ain't just us.
All right, so I didn't see the Dave Chappelle thing. I have no problem with the alphabet community at all. My only argument with them is, and it's from the beginning of time, that they've tried to make their struggle equivalent to the struggles of being African American or colored or Negro or a slave or whatever. The struggle is not the same, and that's why I don't understand why I can't talk about the alphabet community. As a black man, we, like I heard earlier, we were talking about the dozens. We went back and forth about your mother being so black, or your mother doing this, or we were so, if you was light skinned, then you did this. If you was dark skinned, you did that. We're quick to jump on each other as black people. No matter what we do, your teeth so far apart, you could eat apple through a picket fence. Like, we've done all of these jokes and shit.
God damn, nigga.
And
we were savages.
We're horrible, but we laughed at that type of shit. And to say that, you can't laugh at a gay joke or you can't do this, you're not supposed to do that, you can't say certain words anymore. That's just beyond me. So my only argument is, it's not the same struggle. If you're a gay black man, then you probably been hated on really, really bad to be black and to be gay and to be this and to be that. Like, if you're a transgender black man and you're this and you're that, so it's just like you got to pick your struggle. And I just don't like the fact that they want to compare their struggle, which is I don't know how long it's been since it was a gay man on television, or the first gay transgender that came out, and you got gay football players that's coming out all of a sudden. That's you knew that nigga was gay in the locker room. He in there looking at your ass while you was fucking trying to put your socks on. You knew he was gay, but you didn't say nothing about it because you can't really say nothing about the gay man that's standing in the corner rubbing on his nuts while I'm trying to put my socks on. Right. So I'm not supposed to say nothing. So I just feel like, it's kind of fucked up that, the struggle's not the same. As the world progresses, we're gonna have to always walk on eggshells for certain shit. Like, sooner or later, you're not gonna be able to talk about the motherfucker with the receding hairline. Sooner or later, you're not gonna be able to talk about the motherfucker that walked with a little, he got a little slew foot, 1 foot longer than the other. I'm not supposed to laugh at this motherfucker because one of his shoes is that long. Like,
nope.
I mean,
you supposed to go over there and help them. You supposed to go over there and help.
At one time, we couldn't make fun of disabled people. We couldn't say the word retarded. We still can't say the word retarded.
I don't think you still can't say retarded, but shit, Arnez J made fun of his handicapped cousin or brother for 30 years. I done heard that joke so fucking long. I'm mad. I don't even want to hear it no more. Rodney was funny. Like, I wanted to meet Rodney once upon a time, but so it's
my thing about it. My thing about it is now that, okay, y'all got y'all platform, y'all got y'all voice. Now y'all becoming the bullies.
Pretty much.
Anything somebody say now, it's like, oh, I don't like what he said. Pull him down.
Cancel culture.
Right. So now y'all becoming the bullies now. So how is it now that you got a little power, you gonna become the same motherfucker that you was fighting against?
And that's exactly what's happening. And unfortunately, nobody's seeing that. And that's why it's like going back to saying we all have a right to our own opinion, our views, how we choose to raise our kids if we wanted, but we're being told we don't. You don't have that right. You have to do what you're told. And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So when Mac said about John Gruden, so I had to go back, and they went back.
Hey, G, hold on 1 second for me. You in there? In the, okay. All right. I was just trying to test something. I'm assuming none of y'all just heard what I just did, right?
No. I just heard silence. Crickets.
Yeah, I got a cricket for you, Mayberry. You say that word one more time. One more time, you say cricket. You can't say nothing that begin with the C. Not even cool.
If I put it on mute and say it, is it okay?
Yes. That wasn't even fucking mute because I already know you like to move your lips and not make the words come out.
I did mute it.
All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead, G. My bad.
Oh, so I was talking about. I mean, we were talking about John Gruden, and they went back so many years, and they read his emails, and
like 10, 11 years, right?
Like, yeah. You don't think nobody saw that then?
Yes.
Yeah, but that's why it was funny to me because he wasn't even coaching back then. But then even all of this stuff they were saying about how he was talking about homosexuality, homophobic, and all that.
Racist.
The thing that stepped out to me was anti-Semitic. So I went and I looked at because I thought I knew what it meant, so I had to go and read it, and I had posted it today. And it was pretty much you couldn't talk about Jews with their practice or anything that if you talk anything about the Jews or Jewish people, it's anti-Semitic. Mm-hmm. So even if you say, "Hey, look at the little dude with the strings on his pants," or "Hey, look at the guy with the little thing on his head," I mean, I know what they are, but I'm just saying that anything talking about Jews, yeah, put it up. I wanted you to put it up. So you can't say anything about the Jews, and they have a whole word for it, and it's called anti-Semitic. Yeah. But again, if you talk about coloreds, you're a good old boy. Mm-hmm. Or you can wave your Confederate flag when you start to talk about the African Americans or the brown people, or I don't know what they call you if you talk about Mexicans, but you can a friend. A friend, Carlos and shit, my lawn man. You can talk about anybody else other than Jews. So I say that to say that Jews are what make the world go round. Black Lives Matter. If you put a Jew in there, you're gonna win. That's why I told y'all the other day. If we want to do colored country, we got to bring at least 2 Jews with us, and we'll be fine. We can make it. Jews. If you the moment you say anything about Jews, you are fucked up. So
that's what they do. They should. That's what happened with Nick Cannon. They snatched his show because of some anti-Semitic shit.
He came back and apologized. He should have went got him a Jewish agent, and he'd have won. He'd have been back. You'd have been wilding out from fucking Mazel Tov. It'd have been called Mazel Tov.
You ain't shit.
Yo, this is our last day on YouTube.
You know what? And I was about to go to that. Look how we had to go.
What's safe, Mike? I know a couple Jews.
We need to put a platform.
Hey, listen, I'm good. I know a lot. I know a couple Jews. We're good on our end, and they're my peoples. They like black. They like brown.
I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah, I got a couple Jews.
Well, this show was fun while we were able to do it. We had a good run. We appreciate everybody for always tuning in with us. But
Mazel Tov.
Jesus.
Huh? Manischewitz. Get some Manischewitz. We're gonna get a sponsor.
I wish I could get my audio. I can't believe the audio is not working at all because I can hear everything. I can hear everything in Facebook, but I couldn't hear it. Nobody else can hear it. Y'all can't hear it.
Oh, we got. Listen, we throw Aiden a bar mitzvah. We back, baby. Yeah. Aiden, bar mitzvah.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah. Bar mitzvah for males.
Yeah, Aiden's coming up, so we throw Aiden a bar mitzvah, and I'm telling you, we're good. We're great.
Oh
Shout out to the Jewish community, Park Heights and
Thank you, Ike. The views of this show, not those of.
That's what it is.
I mean, but you already know. First of all, Kiana, I can't hit the button on them.
What I say? Did I lie though? Did I lie?
No.
Did I lie? Did I lie?
Nah.
There are certain topics that you just can't say. I mean, like you said,
we can't make another YouTube page.
Right. We ain't got enough Gmail accounts for that shit.
What's the is Mike or Mark Zuckerberg? Is he Jewish or is he just white?
He is the only person that has never deleted us from his network.
Right? Is he? No, but I mean, I'm saying on his platform, he's going through some shit right now too. But is he Jewish? Is Zuckerberg Jewish or is he just regular white Anglo-Saxon Protestant?
He's taking the flack for all of the cyberbullying. Like basically, he's taking the flack for everything that's going on.
No. My question is he Jewish?
It don't matter what he is.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Because if he's Jewish, all the allegations and all the shit that they got fucking with that man about, he'll beat it. They'll go away. They just got to put him in the news for right now, so that you can think that we got him, and then it's gonna be we don't have him anymore. My question was, is he Jewish? Is Zuckerberg? What's Zuckerberg? Is that Jewish?
Yeah,
he good. Well, listen to what I'm telling you. I said it here first on the old Cooley show. Zuckerberg is gonna be fine. He's gonna be gone. You're not gonna hear nothing else about it. We got him. Nope, we don't. Is Weinstein Jewish?
Yes.
Weinstein's Jewish. Have you heard anything about? Wait a minute. Have you heard anything else about Weinstein? R. Kelly done raped and peed on little girls and boys, and you've heard R. Kelly name more in the last week than a little bit.
Yeah, he already start snitching on people.
Yeah. Y'all ain't stepping in the name of love no more. Nobody want to hear R. Kelly shit.
No fiesta.
Yeah, all that.
All the good hits.
Shit, my mother like Backyard Party. I ain't heard Juanita sing Backyard Party in months. Watch, you ain't heard shit about Weinstein, right? Yeah. Jews, baby. Jews. Anti-Semitic. Get you 2 or 3 Jews and you'll win.
Why are you saying it like you can go and buy them off the shelf? Like,
all right.
That's not that we can't do that. You can't say it like that.
Yeah.
So I understand what you're saying. Welcome back to the professor. I believe he knew the police were coming and he decided to take himself off here. See, if I had said what I really wanted to say on the lines of G, like I'd have fed it. Like, G, I'm not gonna let you get me today, yo. You want me to come in the backyard and play? I'm not. Yo, I can't, yo. My mom said I gotta go home, yo.
I'm just saying.
I'm taking my ball, yo. I'm going home, yo.
It's real.
The street lights are on.
Basically, we got to go. So basically, so NJ Rich says, he asked, do we think that all that's going on, will it open up the dialogue between the LGBTQ community and others? I personally think no. I think some, but I think the majority of them, it's like I said what I said. When you're in a position of power and control, and you kind of, like, what the fuck we got to talk about?
Right.
We want your show to come off, and if we really, really push, it'll come off. Like the government, we don't negotiate with terrorists. So, I mean, it's on the same lines of that with me. Like, what they going to negotiate? Like, for what? But that's my thought. What do you all think? Does it open up lines of dialogue?
No.
I wish it could, but I don't think so.
So what would the dialogue be like if it was going to open up? What would we have a conversation about to say that?
What's the real issue?
Right.
That's
the real issue.
That's the real issue. And then
I believe the issue is the fact that they feel, that they're not being respected as who they are.
But
because
it's
even Dave Chappelle said it. You know, gender is a fact, and I think a lot of the argument comes from that.
But that's more so like, all right, that's a question. But should everybody be crucified
for not believing in what you believe in?
For not, yeah, and that's really what it is. It's really a conversation, because you might feel like you're not accepted by one person. Does that mean that everybody doesn't accept you? And then there's some people that are just not educated on it and they don't understand it. It's an opportunity to educate some people. Like even when we have Rhea and Eve on here, a lot of us learn more about poly just from sitting and having a conversation. But a lot of us have probably sat and judged. And I'm not talking about on this panel, but we all probably sat back and probably judged what that lifestyle is, even though if whatever works for anybody in their relationship and marriage is not any of our business, but yet we get in it. So I think it needs to be a conversation, but I just don't see it happening.
I've never met a person, me personally, I've never met anyone that hated a gay person. Like most of the people I met have gay people in their family. So their outrage, I'm not even sure where it's coming from. I don't like Professor said, what would the conversation be about? Like maybe we really need to sit down and find out what their issues are.
The issue? Yeah, it's what's the issue
and where they feel it's coming from. But then they like you ain't been locked up and whipped and forced to do certain things because you are gay.
But there's some people that have been tortured,
persecuted,
and ripped apart or looked over because of opportunities, because some people don't like their lifestyle and their choice. Right. So but there's people that jump on the bandwagon that have never experienced it at all. Nope. But because they stick together, it's their movement. So because this happened to one, it's happened to all. So that's why I'm looking at it and saying there needs to be a conversation. And what's the issue? Because what happened to Jane didn't happen to Joe, but Joe is going to support her.
Right.
So I think I really would like to have a conversation because I feel like it's necessary, but I just don't see it happening. I feel like there's more division now than ever before.
Yeah, definitely. And it's getting worse. It's like back in the day, if somebody didn't like you, you just ain't deal with that person. Mm-hmm. Now it's like
you got to.
Oh, you don't like me? Oh, either I'm gonna make you like me or I'm gonna do something to you.
Right. And that's not going back to what we're saying. Now you're turning into the bully.
Exactly.
Some people are uneducated to certain things. So isn't that an opportunity to coach and develop, to teach and help somebody have a better understanding? No, instead you're being reactive and retaliating and making the behavior worse. So it's continuing the ignorance. It's continuing the stupidity, and it's continuing the division. And that's the issue.
Did y'all hear that?
No.
Y'all don't hear that either?
No.
Maybe I don't know why it hurts so much when you answer me, but it really hurts my Okay. No, come back, please. I'm sorry.
So yeah, we would need to open a dialogue, have a dialogue to find out what's behind this, where they feel this gaysism is coming from.
We'll be able to get to some point. I just won't be back on camera, so he won't see me saying what I'm saying. But yeah.
So Mike, what is the problem?
With what? I don't know. Something ain't hooked up, man.
No, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about why is it that you feel like we have like some sort of separation? Like why is there an issue?
Between us and the LGBTQ community?
No, between us and you, the LGBT community.
Oh, I get it. Okay. You lucky I ain't got no goddamn sound effect. Hey, yo, as soon as I figure out how to fix my shit over here,
don't worry about it. It's almost over now. Don't worry about it. Wait till next time. You fucked up. Don't worry about this one down. Check this one off on the calendar. That's all.
Oh man.
Just once in 30 days, it's okay. Don't want to look up like somebody's supposed to say something. What's wrong with you, yo? You like a pervert.
First of all, yo, I was over here talking, yo. What's up, bub? I was over here talking, and I guess y'all couldn't hear what I was.
And the people that follow him.
Y'all don't hear this? Y'all hear it now?
That was pretty.
Y'all heard that?
Yes, we heard it.
The next thing.
He's so excited. Look at him. He had
the person that follows him.
Yay, go Mike.
Hold up, y'all still hear it?
I also believe at times.
Yeah.
Who that? Bruce Jenner?
Hey, yo.
No.
No, he said Bruce.
Woo. Okay, so I had to get the audio working because I got these two Kevin Samuels clips that I got.
Oh gosh, you want to work for him?
I got these two Kevin Samuels clips that I got to play. Shit. Woo. Yo, y'all know how I get when something ain't working right. Damn, now do I even go back and play any of these videos?
No. You need to do something because we finally got audio, so I don't need to do some gunshots. A couple things. Give us some sound effects. We've been missing them. Can we hear those? Anything? No, maybe.
Or the TikTok thing.
Can we get G's song? Boom, 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 boom. That's
y'all trying to get her to do too much.
Finally.
Yay!
Oh, good job, Mike. We knew you could do it.
We got 10 minutes left of the show, and then you finally get the shit to work.
Professor, you need to get your son right. Get your son right.
G ain't never gonna hear his shit no more. They ain't playing that shit no more.
Why?
Not your damn man.
All right, let me hurry up. I don't even know which all right, I know what clip I'm gonna just go to. Oh my goodness.
Let it play.
You ain't lying, Lord have mercy.
Now we got audio with no visual.
There you go with that shit. Mama, that man outside.
Oh my goodness.
I've heard your stand up and you say that we fight over the wrong things. We get too hung up on titles. Yes. And even as African Americans and as members of the LGBTQ plus community, that we get too hung up on things that are, look, you call people what they want to be called. That's how I feel. But we can have these discussions, but we get too hung up on, titles and letters and.
Well, it was just kind of like the Democratic Party to me. Are we trying to win the war or these little battles? And here's the thing. There are going to be two sides of history with the transgender community. There's the disgruntled, angry side that is still fighting over bathroom wars and pronouns and these minute rights. And then there's the side of history where we have a state senator, Sarah McBride in Delaware. Joe Biden appointed a doctor who is a transgender woman. MJ Rodriguez just made history by being nominated as the first transgender actress to be nominated for a lead role in TV.
So that was a part of Flame Matter. Lord have mercy. I forgot the lady's name. Flame Monroe. She was on with Don Lemon. So I think that's a good way to wrap up this topic on Dave Chappelle. If you want to see more of the full interview, it's all over the internet. You can't miss it. But the only one thing that I wanted to add, and I'll probably have to put the sign up. G brought up R. Kelly. Now, everybody know R. Kelly was convicted again of, sexual assault on a minor. So if you can change your gender, why can't R. Kelly's defense be, well, I'm a 16-year-old boy?
Good night.
So
good night.
For 30 years? Will we be mad at him?
Listen, Mike.
If
as much as I hate to have to agree, as much as I hate agreeing with you, why can't he say that?
Why can't he?
It's wrong as fuck, though. I mean, it's definitely wrong.
Yeah,
like I would never say this out in public. That is wrong as fuck. But I mean, in today's society, if I could be born with a dick, how come I can't say I feel like I should be a woman? I'm 98 years old, and I feel like I'm 14. Like I got a bad back, and I can't see out of one eye, and I take my teeth out at night. But you can't identify yourself with a fucking 14-year-old kid. That's wrong. That you can't do. Like you can't do that. That's fucked up. That's rape, man. That I mean, to even justify or to defend this nasty motherfucker is wrong. But at the same time, his defense, that should be able to work. I should be able to say, I'm 49 and I feel like I'm 16. I'm out here fucking 16-year-old little boys. That's wrong. But that's a legitimate argument.
That's what Michael Jackson said, didn't he?
Good night.
I'm about to say.
Good night. Good night.
But it's, I mean, realistically, think about it. That's exactly what we arguing. We fighting some shit that's just different or weird to other people. I don't want to go into the bathroom and a woman my size is standing up to piss, and I'm like, yes sir, no ma'am, yes sir, no ma'am.
You don't know.
And I don't know. I just don't know.
And
but
Dave
the law says
Dave Chappelle brought that up. He brought that up in the stand-up. He mentioned something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I just think, you know, people are afraid of things that's different. We have too many options. We can do this and we can do that. We can say this, but don't say that. You can look a certain kind of way or whatever. But yeah, I'm kind of with you, Mike, and I hate to have to agree with your bitch ass.
Yeah, because I mean, you got to think about it. You got grown ass men out here that wear Pampers and stuff like that and act like babies and want somebody to feed them bottles and shit like that.
Oh yeah, that is a thing. Definitely is a thing.
I wish I would.
That's definitely a thing.
It is.
Give me a bottle. No.
They might be looking at it as a trauma because R. Kelly, if you ever look at that Surviving R. Kelly, like that series, he actually, him and his brothers were, you know, they were molested by a neighbor. So that could be a good argument to say, well, he's still stuck in that mind frame of 16 because of trauma. But
and when some of the other motherfuckers gonna go down, like when are they gonna lock up the person that was bringing the girls or start to get
that's what I was saying.
On like first of all, R. Kelly, he went through his time, like, but he ain't the only one. This was a fucking organized
ring, right?
Yeah, that's why he about to be snitch 9 out here.
Right.
Do that Nino Brown shit.
I'm taking all you motherfuckers.
I go, you go.
It's bigger than me.
The parents and shit like that. Hey, did anything ever happen with Tiny and T.I. and they sex trafficking shit?
I heard one of the cases got dropped.
Yeah.
They probably paid him.
But you know what though? The unfortunate side of this, I mean, depending on where you stand on it, the fortunate, unfortunate side of this is that R. Kelly could potentially get ready to bring down a whole bunch of other people of color. Mm-hmm. Now, like I said, fortunate, unfortunate, because if you out here raping people, yo, like that shit, there's no excuse. There is nothing that I can say for you. But the other side to that story is a lot of girls going to Milford Mill, getting in grown niggas' cars back in the day. And I don't know if their parents didn't know what the hell's going on. So money determines legitimacy. I mean, wrong is wrong, right? I mean, regardless of how much money a person makes. I'm surprised that this hasn't happened to the average Joe yet. Like, there's a whole lot of average Joes out here that I know was messing with, you know, girls in high school and they was in college or out of school. They was lined up straight across the street. Girl go jump in the car.
The funny thing, Professor, even with the girls doing that at the school, like that's all common behavior. Girls dating up, guys dating down. Mm-hmm. You know, that's been going on. That's
crazy too.
You've seen it.
That's crazy the way you like. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
Girls dating up, guys dating down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't think that's right. I like my women old.
We know.
You out of your daddy phase. Now you're looking for a sugar mama.
Oh, no, not me. I've been looking for an old woman.
But I also, off of what Professor was talking about, you know, the prosecution knew he was going to do that. We don't know what conversations have happened behind the scenes where they were probably like, look, we can get you at this, but you're going to have to give us something. I mean, y'all watch Law and Order. Y'all see all of these shows. Like, the prosecution already knew that there's other people associated. It's a ring. He didn't work alone. You think for a second that they didn't know that he was going to offer it up? And you think that they don't know more coloreds are going to come down with this? Yes, they are.
He did.
He's gonna say, you know what, Bill Cosby really did that shit. I got a couple more girls that I can tell you who did that shit. Can come get his old ass.
A bunch of stuff that's about to come out. I hope T.I. and Tiny ain't had no links to that, because if they stuff come out too, they already hot right now. I mean, we just don't know.
Right.
And the industry, they do all of that stuff. They do that.
Well, you're tuned into the Cooley and the Gang Show live every Tuesday night, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We appreciate everybody that's checked in with us so far. Everybody on the IG Live channel, everybody on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, all of our different Facebook channels, everybody on Twitter. I don't know what's going on with Twitter. I don't know if we actually live right now on Twitter, but I know when I go back to look at the videos, it's like they're not there no more. So
it's live. That's how I see y'all. I see y'all on Twitter.
Yeah, but so after we go, then that's it. They like, they done.
It's still on there. I can still see it. That's how I watch them on Twitter.
Oh, all right. So Bishop, I got the juice says I'm not going to ask every week if Mayberry is single or not. Shaking my head. At some point, somebody going to have to answer me.
Somebody can only be one person.
I did ask that question last week.
I missed that.
And let me tell you something. Linnea don't be playing. Linnea was all up in the comments.
I missed that last week.
No, leave her alone.
Well,
really?
Hey,
one shoulder. One shoulder.
Before we roll out, it's only right, and I don't have my church music, but we appreciate everybody tonight, but we need to have the benediction. And the only person that can give a proper benediction is Reverend Samuels.
Oh, glory.
You're in. Okay, we're back
there
up.
You go.
Oh, no.
Guys are not there to be taken advantage of. This is all about you, what you want. 3 dates a week, you're not paying. They are. And then you wonder why after 2 or 3 dates, they want a return on investment.
Ain't no ROI.
Did you think a man just wants to spend money on you because he doesn't want to sleep with you?
Well, I thought they just want
No,
to like
you
get
did
to know
not.
me.
No, you did not. You're not a little girl. They get to know you over Starbucks coffee. Let's be real, sis.
Okay.
I mean, seriously.
But that still didn't answer my question. Like, why do guys want to sleep with me so?
Because we want to fuck you soon as we see. Because we want to fuck you soon as we see you. What do you mean so soon? Look, dating equals sex in a man's mind. Get this through all of you ladies' heads. We only want to date you so we can sleep with you. We got to do the whole courtship dance for the panties to come down. Why do you ladies act like you don't understand this when you're not putting your credit card out there? You guys get this 2020, but y'all get real brand new. Why does a guy want to have sex with what? Seriously? Because we want to fuck you. Seriously?
Let me jump right on in on this. Yeah, it's not that, it's the entitlement. The entitlement. It is nothing wrong with somebody wanting to smash, because more than likely the female wants smash too. It's the entitlement. I ain't entitled to give you no ass because you done bought me 3 meals. I'm not entitled.
You should have said that after meal too.
Let me tell you something. Anybody that know me know I tell them that. Don't be expecting. I don't do none of that. I'm not gonna go out and gas you and make you think you getting what you're not gonna get. I'm gonna let you know. And trust and believe me, I can pull out my own card. I don't need you to pay for my shit. I'm good. But ain't nobody gonna feel entitled that they gonna get to open my legs just because you done bought me a meal. I can buy my own meals. So if you really want to get to know somebody, that's something different.
On the same token, though,
because back in the day, ain't take no meal.
Yeah, well, hey, some of them were just fast food. There wasn't no restaurants.
All you had to do was come to a committee or a Blockworks party, and you ain't even had to buy no meal. I'm just saying.
But females do know that when a guy is taking them out and dating them and all that, in their mind that they're going to build up to the sexual relationship. I'm quite sure every female know that. Right. So what he was saying wasn't wrong. I mean, maybe not 3 meals, maybe 5, but
I have a problem more so with his approach. Like, to me, he comes off like, when I can't respect a man that feels like he should, while giving advice, not create a safe space by talking to a woman in a chastising or aggressive ass manner. I'm never going to sit here. That's why I don't like him. I think that he speaks on a lot of great topics, and he offers up a lot of great information. His delivery is bullshit.
So you think he's a misogynist?
So the LGBTQ community is saying the same thing about Dave Chappelle. I don't like his delivery, but we got a problem with that.
That's his. But I'm not trying to cancel him. I just won't listen to him. See, Linnea made that point earlier. I make an executive decision on what I want to put into my space, in my home, in my body, and in my spirit. That's my choice.
So
I have. I don't listen to him.
He just didn't. I don't listen to him. He just didn't say it. If he said it a little nicer, then he would be more receptive.
My whole thing, I can receive the information better if it's delivered in a way where it doesn't seem like he's sitting up here. You're not a little girl. Like, my own father don't talk to me like that, and that's a man that I love, honor, and respect. A man that I'm trying to date or that's courting me should also not talk to me in that type of manner and expect that any type of drawers is going to drop. My belt buckle ain't even going to come off.
I honestly did not hear anything. I've heard his videos, but that one was really mild to me. Like, even his delivery on it.
Well, he was condescending.
I don't like men that do that. I just don't. That's just my thing. I mean, to each his own. I'm not going to tell anybody else who and what not to listen to, but I don't respect that dude.
I had a conversation. Me and Sean talked about you recently because of that same video. And what I said is going to wind up happening to him is somebody's going to label him as being a bully. And what they're going to do is they're going to wind up not letting him post videos anymore. They're going to do the same thing to him that they've done to all the other people that do that type of thing. So there is a way to convey a message without making people feel bad. It almost sounds like, and again, I agree with 95% of the things that he says, but I think his delivery could be a little bit better. Now, some brothers will say soft pedaling does not get the message across. There's a guy, I don't know if you shared it with me or somebody else may have shared it, and he was talking about delivery. And he was saying something along the lines of people don't like my delivery, but something. I don't want to quote because I can't remember 100%. His delivery is very deliberately demeaning. At least that's how it comes off.
But does it start that way? Or is this by the time I get to the middle of the conversation and I still realize you dumb as a bag of bricks?
If you watch, he has a pattern. If you watch all of his videos.
Yeah, I've seen him from the beginning.
Yeah. But I'm not even talking about one video from start to end. I'm talking about consistency across every video he has. He demeanors and degrades.
I'm at service every Sunday. I'm there. I'm in the pew. I'm there when service starts. And I'm there.
And guess what? And the thing here is, you're probably comfortable with his tone and his approach. There's other people that have the right not to be comfortable with his tone and approach. Right. Like, everybody has an opinion, and it's like we going right again back to this Me Too movement. I don't have to like bruh. I'm not going to. Everybody else on this panel might be like, oh, he know everything and celebrate him. But I have a right to say I don't like him. I have a right to say his delivery is trash. I have a right to say, as a man of color,
nobody's arguing that point.
See, this is the problem. If we want our women to uplift men as kings, then as kings, y'all got to uplift your women. As a man of color, Our Black women have to deal with a lot of men talking to us like we ain't worth shit all day.
Right.
So pick a better choice. It can't always be one of the other. Nobody's saying that y'all don't. Nobody's saying that y'all don't.
And nobody is arguing it. We have been
hearing why are we victimizing it? Nobody's saying that men don't go through stuff either. So nobody's saying that at all. No, listen. Just listen, because Black men go through it too. But right now I'm talking about a Black man talking to a Black woman. We're not talking about that. When we do, I can definitely address that.
Okay.
But as a Black man talking to as of color talking to a Black woman in that capacity is bullshit. You can't want women to uplift kings, and the kings are sitting here down talking, belittling, and degrading our Black women. I don't condone Black women doing the same thing. That's why I just said it. So before we jumping in, listen to actually what I'm saying. If you want your queens to uplift you, the kings have to do it. That means it takes two. That means it's a partnership. I don't condone any woman sitting back and downgrading or down talking a man. I come on here all the time. Jiggy tried to say it last week, like I wouldn't date somebody that's at Wendy's. They got on a Wendy's shirt. Don't nobody know me. Don't nobody know how I move and how I roll. I'm never going to judge somebody off of a situation, a scenario that I'm not privy to and I don't know. I'm going to do my due diligence.
But so you and Shannon never really did answer that question totally.
What?
Well, can you
that question? No, y'all did.
No, we did. I said I would, because I don't really care about what anybody thinks about
I don't remember either one of y'all saying that y'all would date that person. I thought y'all said y'all
I did. I said no. See, the thing is, that's not how the conversation went. The topic or the statement was, would I date somebody or would I consider dating somebody who's from who walked up on me and they had on a Wendy shirt? And I said, yes, I would, because I don't know if he's an owner. He could have multiple of them. So what do I look like because he has a Wendy's logo on his shirt to not talk to him? He could have grabbed that shirt out of the car. That could have been his son's shirt. That's what I said. But because people think that they know my answer, they came back with another one. And they said, well, what if he did tell you he worked there? What if this? Nobody's going to drive my answer because I'm going to date who I want to date. What I'm saying at the end of the day is we all have the rights to an opinion. If I don't like him, I don't like him. You celebrate him, great. That doesn't mean that there's a divide. We just have difference in opinion. But again, I'm never going to condone a woman tearing a Black man down. Never. So why would I sit here and celebrate a man tearing a woman down when I got to respect and honor my queens? I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to do that.
I didn't hear him tear that lady down.
And that's what I was about to say.
You're not hearing it because you're looking for the words. You're not hearing it because you're looking for the words. It's the tone. It's the tone.
So answer this question for me, Mayberry. Answer this question for me.
Ain't nobody talking to me like that.
I understand what you're saying, but even if you knew that, I mean, the delivery was a little off, would you throw out the whole message just because you ain't like the delivery?
But again, let's go back to what I said. I said I agree with everything that he said. I said his delivery was trash. We can't pick and choose out of what I'm saying and say I'm going in a totally different direction when I know I'm not. I'm literally saying, everything that he said.
No matter what he said.
No, the reason I asked that question.
Valid point, but his delivery is trash. I can't receive information when you're leading with negativity, condescending. You're leading with negativity. We could take all of the words that's negative, condescending. You're downgrading. You're belittling. All negative. That is your tone and your body language associated with the conversation. Again, my own dad don't talk to me like that if I'm not doing something correctly. There's a way to actually have a conversation with a woman, and especially men. Y'all are kings. Celebrate and honor your queens. We got to both respect the crown. That's all I'm saying. Respect the crown. And he wasn't doing that. And that's just my opinion.
Now, the reason I asked that, because I was told that before, that somebody told me they ain't trying to hear what I said because the way I was saying it wasn't comfortable for them.
But who defines somebody's comfortability? Like if I talk and I'm talking to you, I could say something in the nicest way, but because you don't want to hear it, why are you talking to me like that? Well, what the fuck? Would you want me to get on my hands and knees and whisper the shit? Like, what the fuck do you want me to do?
But see, isn't that a conversation? In every situationship, friendship, relationship, you have to, and this is the problem with why people don't know how to communicate. Because immediately when somebody said that to you, you then elevated with aggression with what you just said. What the fuck am I supposed to do with that? It wasn't a conversation. It wasn't an opportunity to understand. Maybe it was the way you said it, or maybe it was a word. Because sometimes when we caught up in the moment, we don't really hear ourselves. We don't.
Yeah.
No,
but see, and I
not
became more conscious with myself about that because now.
Not all the time. So you want to tell? So everybody on this platform, every time they've ever opened up their mouth, they have been cool with everything that they said out of their mouth. They have not regretted anything that they've ever said out of their mouth in any way, form, or fashion. That's a lie.
No, what I would want to say with me, it would have been the way it was said, because some things, like my thinking was always that I'm gonna just tell you what needs to be said, and didn't really care about the delivery. You know what I mean? But there's some people don't respond well that way, you know, and then I get pissed because it's like, now, hold up, you worried about the tone of my voice when I just said this important shit to you?
But you
don't want to hear that.
But some people can't hear that,
and
that's what we have to understand. But that's a part of communication. Communicating is meaning as knowing your audience. You got to know your audience. You got to know the person you're talking to.
But do you know how hard it is?
It's very hard.
Hold up, Mayberry. Go ahead, G.
Well, I think my tone for me.
Hold up, G. Mayberry, did I say that correct? Mayberry, my dear.
All right,
don't hit the button. 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 Go ahead, G.
So I think my tone is my tone, and if you're uncomfortable with my delivery, I don't think I've ever felt bad or sorry for saying what I said. I said what I said, and I meant what I said, and I might regret not getting some more shit out after you've left. So most of the time, all my good shit comes after the conversation is over. So I could be sitting there. Yeah, I could be sitting there like, fuck, I should have said this. Or I should have said that. That's the only thing that I regret. As far as Kevin Samuels go, I do not like him. I don't like him. I don't listen to him. I don't understand him. I don't know where the fuck he came from. I'm not mad at what he says and how he says it, because that's what he does. My problem is the women who go on there to listen to what the fuck he has to say. Why would you subject yourself?
He is not a subject matter expert in nothing.
Right. So why would you subject yourself to listen or to even ask this motherfucker for advice?
And that is why I have no sympathy for any. That's why I have no sympathy for any woman that calls that show.
Me neither. Me either.
Not no empathy, no sympathy, no shittity, none of that.
None of that.
What is shittity?
I don't know.
Yeah, none of that.
I'm gonna keep that one.
But as far as him,
get a shirt that says shittity on it.
Shittity.
We need a shittity.
I don't give a shittity.
Yes. Hey, there we go.
I don't like him.
I don't give a shittity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fuck him.
Yeah, I don't.
That's all I'm saying.
The clips, I believe there is some message in the clips, but I'll give y'all the benefit of the doubt. Yes,
not the benefit.
I mean, Shannon tell me all the time that sometimes my tone, what you say, my delivery, and then my response is, I
response is you don't say shit. You shut down. Okay.
But you know what's crazy? I've had my daughter say.
Mike, you still on audio. I just want to let you know you still on audio. Please.
He probably over there get his ass whooped. He probably getting his ass whooped. That's why he turned the mic. That's why he turned the camera off.
No, but the audio is still on, the video off, so we can't see, but we gonna hear.
That's fine. He probably done walked in the kitchen because she probably whooping his ass. Look how his shirt. You see his shirt all roughed up.
She yanked that ass up. She yanked that ass up.
Shirt got jacked up. She caught that nigga across the neck. Yeah, don't mute him. Unmute yourself.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, you sound like you about to cry.
No,
it's all good, King. It's all good.
I called a popo.
No.
Hey, I had an old. Listen, hey Mike, yeah. I had an old black man tell me never marry a woman you can't beat. Now I don't know if he meant like beat her ass or beat as in if she's whooping your ass, you can't get her off of you, right? So.
I'm gonna tell y'all one thing about who phone. Oh man,
that's 911 calling. That's 911 calling back.
I'll tell you one thing about Shannon. Like Shannon can fight. Shannon come from a family of fighters. One day I'm gonna sit here and tell y'all some stories about her New Jersey family and the melees they done had out there. Some of them ain't even allowed to go back to Jersey. They got warrants right now. Like so, they rough. They don't play. So
don't get pulled over.
I don't mess with Shannon on a lot of things, but trust and believe, I'm the king of this castle, baby.
Okay.
Ain't that right, Shannon? Thank you.
That was very convincing. That was very convincing.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get some final thoughts. We've held you all hostage long enough tonight.
Yeah.
Somebody just go first, because except Mayberry done got more off her chest than she done got off in the 6 years we've been doing the show.
Man.
Man. And Linnea, you can't go first because you the guest, so we got to kind of squeeze you in the middle. So G, go ahead.
I don't really ever have anything positive to say. But this is October. This is breast cancer awareness month. Shout out to all the ladies with titties. I need some got titties. Some got titties in the front. Some got titties in the back. It's just titties. But I say that to say on a serious note, I would like for everybody to get tested, men and women. I don't really take good care of myself physically to go get physicals and shit. But I had a lady come into Home Depot and she was telling me how her nephew and her brother was diagnosed with breast cancer. And that was kind of weird to me. And I knew that, I do know that men can have breast cancer as well. So just shout out to everybody that survived breast cancer. Anybody that you know that has been through the process or is dealing with any cancer in any cancer, but just because this is October, I encourage everybody to get tested, male and female, and shout out to those titties.
Wow.
Mac.
All right, you ain't got to accept shit you don't like. Don't worry about being canceled. If it's something that you see going on that you don't like, speak up on it. Do something about it. Don't just sit there and accept it because you think someone else is going to come on. What do they punch down on you? Stand your own ground.
Go ahead, Mac.
Linnea, go ahead, darling.
I'm just gonna say this: everyone be themselves, regardless. Someone's gonna understand you. So don't worry about everyone not being on board. Be yourself.
Be you.
I love that advice. I felt like she was saying that to me. Because everybody ain't gonna get me, and it's okay. I'm okay with it. But no, I wanna I definitely gotta give 2 shout outs to 2 amazing, solid women. I gotta shout out Faces by Cree for hooking me up last week. I had got called on to do an opportunity. Also, no, 3 women. Mother Chocolate, got to shout her out for giving me an opportunity to come on there and tell my story and my journey. So I greatly appreciate you, love. You a queen. But again, I want to shout out Faces by Cree for hooking me up and making sure last minute that I was set and ready to be able to be on live. She kept me nice. Also, shout out to the Cree Collection because I'm rocking them lashes tonight. And then also for Nail Crush by Shalin, for making sure a girl was blinging on Friday last week too. I got my little bling going. So yeah, solid queens. I thank you and I appreciate y'all for coming through. So, and he ain't have to do that. Hey, you didn't have to do that. And I told you don't ever do that.
We were promoting. How are we gonna promote the lashes and we can't even see them?
But I ain't need no more close up. Next time, get a permission slip sign. I ain't like that.
That was Faces by Cree.
If I had one little brow or the lash might have been dangling, that wasn't good promotion. Don't do that.
Yes.
If the glue might not have been all the way on, I was rushing after work to glue them on. Mike, don't do that.
I don't
know. All of my queens, y'all know I love you. Mother Chocolate, Faces by Cree, the Cree Collection, and Nail Crush by Shalin. I love y'all, even though he did a close up. I'm glad they was glued on tight, girl.
Woo.
Thank you.
I love you too, Cooley.
I don't know. All
I do it.
Hear myself.
Yeah, it's an echo.
Good show. Thank you all. Linnea, thank you. Linnea, the one thing we forgot to ask you, how the hell did you find out about this show?
Actually, someone that I used to go to school with. Weston, what's up? Maisha. We went to school together in the class. So, yeah.
Well, shout out to Maisha. Brother Ike will be on next week, dropping some financial. I got a video clip Brother Ike's got me holding in the stash for y'all. So when he's ready to play it, y'all be ready. So he'll be back next week. Also, I think we have two guests next week. I think James Dickey and Crystal will be here. James is author, photographer, extraordinaire. Crystal owns Shades of Beauty. What is it? I keep wanting this. It's not a. What do y'all call those? It's not a salon. It's the where y'all go get the hair and stuff like that.
Nail salon,
hair grease, and all that stuff.
You mean a beauty
supply store?
Yes,
beauty supply store.
I totally went blank. Yeah, beauty supply store. She's on her third location now.
Oh shoot!
Doing her thing, definitely. Her and her partner, her business partner. I'm not sure who the partner is, so please forgive me for not mentioning you, whoever you are. But we got guests all the way up until the I think the middle of November. So it should be good, and hopefully we can have Linnea come back on because I think this was fun. Linnea, promote your podcast.
Okay. Of course, my podcast is Black Patel Hoodoo. So I got episodes on there, basically just giving people a rundown on my spiritual awakening journey. And as long as we're living and breathing, we're all going through it. So we're all breaking through the matrix. We're seeing things now. So you want to laugh, hear my silly self. I'm just bare bones. I just bare my soul.
There you go. I definitely appreciate you coming on, and hopefully we can.
No problem. I'll come again.
Yeah.
If you're ever looking for a male co-host, call me.
Oh, I got you.
I've been trying to get out this bullshit for 6 years. So. If you ever just looking for somebody, let me know.
Good night. But see, Mike, this is what happens when they call it the Cooley Show. And NJ Rich said it earlier, how was we gonna bully you on your show? So I mean, it kind of runs back to when Ike has called it the Cooley Show, and you said you can replace the gang. I mean, you kind of set yourself up for that, bro. I mean, I'm just saying.
Thank y'all for tuning in, everybody.
It's all love. It's all love.
Yeah, we love you.
Oh, shit.
Shout out to and no bullshit. We got some listeners that actually listen to the podcast. I'll make sure I upload it every night after the show. So shout out to those 3 people that listen to the podcast.
Yes.
Follow us at CNTG Show.
Not the 3 people.
One day. We appreciate that.
They need love. Yeah,
because a lot of people are more visual. So if you got the patience to actually listen to a podcast, because I listen to podcasts, like, hey, thank you. You are the real true MVPs out there. You true podcast listeners. So thank you all. So thanks, everybody. We'll be back next Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Please be on time. And I'm talking to the gang, not the but listen. Please be on time, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. God bless. And
the obstacles before you provoke the power within. Boom!
Damn it. Yeah. I'm not even playing music tonight. I'm like ready just to go. Like Mac, thank you for being you. Linnea, thank you.
No
Professor
problem.
Mayberry, y'all have, you know what?
Professor not even here. At least I stayed for the show.
He in here. Like he's here, but he ain't here.
What you want? What you want?
Gina.
He should have just left.
He been popping in and out. He been acting like popcorn today. In and out of the show. Here I am, there I go.
Who said popcorn host?
Popcorn host. Here I am, there I go. What you want?
Oh shit.
See y'all next week. Y'all be safe.
All right, y'all have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
Adios.